can actually scare some. Right, welcome back guys to another video, and what I've got for you today is, as you can see behind me, this video is about the Mitsubishi Evo. But when anybody mentions rally legends to any car enthusiast, the first two manufacturers that come to your mind is Mitsubishi and Subaru, and I've got two awesome examples of both of them manufacturers. I've got a Mitsubishi Evo 8 MR, which what this review is all about, and there behind me is also a Subaru Impreza STI S202. The review for the S202 is already on the channel, so please do feel free to check that out. And they're both fantastic cars in their own ways. Absolutely, awesome cars, four-wheel drive systems, both 2-litre turbocharged engines. The Evo is a UK MR, UK car, so it's the MR FQ300, and the Scooby is a S202, which is one of the really rare. They're about as rare as hen's teeth at the minute, and they're really, really expensive at the moment. So so what we'll do is we'll go for a little walk around the Evo, and I'll go through all the modifications and what it's had done to it, and then we'll go for a little drive and you'll understand what I mean. I've got a couple of cinematics, little drive-bys, and you'll see it. This thing is a fire-spitting, popping and banging monster. Honestly, the thing pulls like a bloody train and sounds absolutely wild. You'll understand exactly what I mean on the actual drive. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles. And we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles, obviously. So, yeah, please do feel free to check us out. Help us grow. So, we've got plenty of content to come, and we've got a fair few videos uploaded on our channel already. So please do check them out as well. It's all performance car related. So, yeah, please do check them out, and we'll catch you on the outside of the Evo. Here it is. What a car. As mentioned, this is the MR variant of the Evo 8. So they come with a few other bits and bobs that the normal FQ models or the GSRs don't actually come with. And the main distinguishing feature on these things is they have the ridges on the ends of the roof. So it's an aluminium roof, aluminium door, strengthening beams, and that's just like on the outside. And the Evo 8 MR rear lights, they have the black backing on the rear lights, and they also have the black backing on the front lights. So I know there's a few examples out there at the moment running standard FQ lights, but I think that's purely because either somebody's broken a few nuts on them, or they've actually had a little prang in them and then they've replaced them with the cheaper, clearer FQ normal GSR lights. So then, the modifications on this car, it's actually running a full stainless steel exhaust system. It's a custom built exhaust system, and it is quite loud, and it does actually come with its own like a silencing bung, which you can probably tell there's a little hole in there that you bolts into, but that's been taken out, which I believe is the correct thing to do with the Mitsubishi Evo, because you want to hear this thing. And yeah, what it's also got is a aftermarket ECU, and which has been remapped to 377 brake horsepower. It's got pops and bangs, and I'll put in a little clip here of the actual popping and banging, and apparently it spits flames as well. You see a lot of BMWs with a V-bar on them nowadays, and this has actually got a Cusco H-brace, so it runs along the front on both sides, and I think it just makes that front end look quite nice. And it kind of like, with the ride height on this as well, Meister are coilovers, and the carbon fibre front splitter actually does make it stand out from the norm. standard ride height on these is ever so slightly higher than what it's sitting at the moment. So even though it's only really minutely been dropped, it still makes it look a lot better than standard height. I believe this car just needs a different set of wheels and it will set it off nicely. You know, a set of classic Rotor GTRs or T37 Volk Racing wheels. But again, the T37s are worth an absolute fortune at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. And the carbon fibre spoiler. The whole actual spoiler is carbon fibre. The side bits are painted, and that is naked, just lacquered carbon fibre. And as you can see, it's got a bit of carbon fibre lacquer peel on it. Again, not a massive issue. It can just get sorted. And it's also got a vortex generator. I believe these were standard on an Evo 9. So it's another feature. It just looks good. It just looks, I think it looks actually quite smart on one of these cars. So, and the thing with these is the way they sit, the arches actually flare out nicely. They've got, you know, really wide sort of track on them. And on some of the examples, it actually makes them look like the wings are a slightly different shade to the rest of the car. But they're not. It is quite literally the way these arches flare out. And it's the angles on them. So, oh yeah, and this has got purple Brembo calipers. Brembo 4-pot standard on the front, 2 pots on the rear. So onto the inside. Excuse the mess in here, it's not really been cleaned. It's got a Momo steering wheel. That's standard. Recaro seats, which is the biggest noticeable feature on these things, because you can tell them apart from a standard sort of seat. And these are standard on the FQ Evos throughout the whole range, the bucket seats, Recaro bucket seats. And the thing that these cars are well renowned for is the handling, 4-wheel drive system, and the AYC, the tarmac gravel snow settings just here. You can flip through them with this button here, ACD button, and the active center diff actually does make a difference on, I think it's only on full throttle, you can really notice it, but it is something that's there. And yeah, this has also got Defi gauges. Now, if you're going to have a gauge in the car, it's got to be a Defi, I think. Defi gauges are fantastic. They're a aftermarket edition, and I think they're very accurate and very good sort of gauges. It's also got an Apexi AVCR boost controller. Very good thing. Every time I've had one in my own cars in the past, I've never really played about with it. You don't want to mess anything up on it, so the setup's right. You know, if it's driving right when you bought it and you're not doing anything to it, just leave it as it is the way I think of things. And it's also got a carbon fibre D1 spec, is it? Yeah, D1 spec gear knob. And the rear seats, again, perfectly usable. Excuse my mess on there. I think they're all classed as a 5-seater. They've got the middle lap seat belt as well. So, I mean, the interior on these cars, as with all Japanese performance cars, they weren't really renowned for a decent spec on the inside. They've got everything you need. You know, they've snazzed them up a little bit. They've got like a carbon fibre trim on the dashboard. But with regards to like spec, there's not a lot in here. It's got your usual heater controls here, and quite literally, that is all you have. This is aftermarket. This is to control the Defi. So on a standard car, you won't even get that. And then you've also auto manual intercooler spray. So there's not really a lot else to them. The plasticky sort of dashboards, everything is like very plasticky. 4 electric windows, which is a good thing. Can't bother with windy windows nowadays. As you can probably see on one of the cars, I've either uploaded the video or will upload the video that's got windy windows, and it's on that car actually it's good, but you can't be really living with that on a daily basis in this sort of day and age. So yeah, I mean, everything on here is it's just a very plasticky feel. But saying that, you don't buy a Mitsubishi Evo or a Subaru Impreza or any Japanese performance car for like a spec inside. I know Germans, they have a lot more to offer, even of this era, but going by, you know, a Japanese performance, I think is purely, you buy a Japanese performance for the performance, the way they feel, the way they drive. They handle so much better than the German equivalents, And it's just the whole noises they make, the whooshing and this and the exhausts and stuff, because most of them are modified nowadays. You'd be lucky to find yourself a completely standard Evo or a Scooby or a Nissan, you know, Silvia now in this day and age. But I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. All these modifications are actually improving an already impressive car. We'll show you under the bonnet actually before I forget, and then what we'll do is we'll go for a little drive. And as mentioned, just subscribe to our channel, like, share the video or videos that we've got uploaded already, and help us grow. We've got plenty of other content to come, and we've got a few videos uploaded already. So thank you very much, guys. We'll catch you on the outside. So here it is. This is the legendary 4G63 lump. What I'll do is I'll quickly run through a couple of things. My battery's about to die on my GoPro as well. So yeah, this is running a HKS in filter, which is what you hear is sucking in all the air. The TL blow-off valve. There's the tops of the Maestro GT1 coilovers. The HKS hard pipe kit is standard on the MR models. This space is this raw, yeah, this little rusty thing. That's just the heat for the fan on the radiator. And other than that, it is quite literally what you see. They're a fantastic car, and they've come with a decent sort of spec list from the factory. I think for performance related wise, it's if you want luxury, then buy a German. If you want proper performance and power, get yourself an Evo, guys. Get yourself one of these. Right, so here we are, back in the Evo, the awesome Evo. I mean, we'll get straight onto the way it actually drives and just the whole feel of the thing. And I've been a massive fan of Mitsubishi Evos for a very, very long time. Everybody has a car that gets them onto the performance car scene or the high performance car scene. The Mitsubishi Evo for me was most certainly a car that really did get things going. It wasn't the 8, but it was the Mitsubishi Evo 6. So as soon as I first seen one in the flesh, I knew I wanted one of these. I mean, bear in mind, I think it was probably before I even passed my driving test at the time. Roll on to, you know, when I was 21, I bought my first Evo 6. What a absolute machine it was. Going on to the Evo 8 now, I mean, these have moved on since then. The 4G63 lump the lump is actually the same, but the 8MR engines are slightly different. They've got stronger engines in them and stronger internals, should I say. Now, this Evo 8, I mean, it drives absolutely beautiful. Takes a bit of getting used to is the actual clutch. This is running a twin plate clutch. Now, twin plate clutches are perfect for running bigger power, launching and all the rest of it. But for normal sort of commuting, you have to give them a bit of a rev just to get moving. So a lot of people do actually think, what's this guy just revving his car up for no reason? But it is just the way you have to move off with paddle or twin plate clutches. Not all of them, but most of them. Evos are well renowned for their handling. And with this 8MR model, which MR stands for Mitsubishi Racing, I think it is. So they've got, I think it's called Super AYC, ABS, and obviously the four-wheel drive system and an active center differential. So now the active center differential on these, you can switch between 3 different modes. So you've got your tarmac setting, which is the standard setting that the Evo 8 is in when you turn the car on. Then you've got your gravel, and then you've got your snow. They are very good settings, and to be fair, when you're driving them on the limit, you do notice a difference. For daily pottering around, I don't think there's a massive difference in any of the settings, but that's just, again, my opinion, and I've had a fair few Evos. I can't say I've noticed a massive difference in them, unless you're driving them hard. With this car having the modifications, this car, as I've mentioned previously, it's 377 horsepower to be precise. And that is plenty of power for the roads. It pulls like a bloody train, this thing. It's an absolutely beast of a car. And I mean, I'll show you now. A Mitsubishi Evo is most certainly a car that puts a grin on your face. To be fair, I've said that probably about a lot of cars that I've reviewed on our channel, but they have genuinely all been great cars, and the Evo does not you know, let you down at all. It's just point to point, they will get you there very quickly. Very, very quickly. The handling on these things is absolutely amazing. The steering on this is, again, it is pinpoint accurate. There's not, some cars you turn the wheel on them and there's nothing happening, and then all of a sudden the car turns. On a Mitsubishi Evo 8, or any Mitsubishi Evo to be fair, the steering is quite literally, you turn it, it completely just switches direction. And they've got a rallying heritage. Obviously, when you're rallying them out there, it's something that you need to have. You need pinpoint accurate steering. The exhaust system on this car is a aftermarket, it's a custom built exhaust. It's not the quietest, and to be fair, the silence has been taken out of the back box. And I think that's a very good thing with an Evo. I mean, if you're driving a Mitsubishi Evo, I believe these things, they can be seen from quite a distance, and I think they need to be heard as well. And with this actual car, it's got the HKS filter, and it's got a DCAT full exhaust system, and you can hear this thing from a mile off, and I think it is a very, very good thing for an Evo. I mean, you can probably hear it whooshing, sucking in air as soon as I put my foot down. And then you can hear it dumping the pressure as well. It's got a teal blow-off valve. It sounds fantastic. And it is a very good piece of kit. It's an awesome piece of kit. I've had a few of these Evos in the past running HKS, SSQV dump valves, blow-off valves. They're a very good, very, very, very good thing, but they almost make the same noise all the time. But this one does actually, it flutters if you do it at a certain sort of sensitivity on the pedal, or it just completely it's awesome. It is an actual awesome thing. That was only 5,000 RPM. When Mitsubishi first bought these cars out, it was just such an amazing car. As mentioned in the past, it's most people, they have that, that poster car on their wall, and on this side of supercars, I mean, a Ferrari F40 was the ultimate one for me, or a Lamborghini Countach. But after the supercars, there was nothing better than a Mitsubishi Evo. And when I first managed to buy one, bearing in mind I'd never driven one before, never had any sort of, I'd just seen them around. And them days, it wasn't the YouTube era them days, so there was nothing that you could actually just go on the internet and see any videos and stuff about. So when I first actually drove one, and to be fair, to this day, every time I drive one now, the feeling's the same. They put a massive grin on your face. Mitsubishi have done such an amazing job with these cars, and like I said, this car actually costs 17 years old. I'm still confident enough to say that it is far better than the performance cars you buy nowadays. I've driven a fair few, and honest, the fun factor in a Mitsubishi Evo or even a Subaru Impreza STI is second to none. They are an absolute joy to drive, joy to own. They're just a beautiful, beautiful car. The looks, I know, might not be to everybody's taste, but that is the thing that drew most people to them. It was just, they looked as fast and as capable as they actually are. They've got all the bulging arches on the outside, the big wing on the back, and with this being an 8MR, it's got the carbon fiber rear spoiler. The actual sides are painted, and the actual blade is naked carbon with lacquer. And on this one, it's peeling a little bit, which is the case with most carbon items from, that haven't had a re-lacquer for many years. I believe that was a weak point on the Mitsubishi's lacquer. The UV on it the rating wasn't very good. So over the years, and obviously car washes don't help as well, all the chemicals that they spray onto your cars and stuff. So, and no doubt this one's, in the past has probably been through some car washes, but again, which car hasn't? I mean, even just to potter about in as a normal car, perfectly fine. The clutch, yeah, like I said, on this car is hit and miss, because it does take a little bit of getting used to. But the overall feel of the car, the actual car itself, it's a joy. It's, you know, there's not a massive amount of drone in the car. And like I said, mentioned, this one's got a silence little bung that you can stick in the exhaust, which quietens it down quite a lot. But for me personally, I think it's right as it is here. It's an Evo. Like I said, you need to be able to hear it, and you can hear this thing. I can assure you of that. You can hear this thing. Subscribe to our channel, like the video, share the video, and check out the other content that we've got uploaded already. And you know, not every car's to everybody's taste, but try and cover a wide sort of range of cars, just so you know there's something there for most people. And I've watched many YouTube videos, you know, before even thinking about even doing this. There's a lot of very good YouTube videos out there, and a lot of vloggers out there, and hopefully we'll be thought of in the same way. We're trying our best. I'm trying my best as well, just to get you guys to see what these things are all about, and you know how these feel. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and the usual lines help us grow. So I appreciate it all. Thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe, people.